Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com and welcome to episode 4 of 12 in my Christmas countdown series for 2022. Today I have a fun fold for you. I saw this card many years ago, but it was for a 6x6 inch card and I wanted one that would fit into an ordinary C6 envelope. So with so many cuts it seemed like a daunting task, so I pushed it aside until now. Now you can see how this fits into the envelope. Perfect. Once I established the right paper side, it really wasn't difficult at all. So here it is. I've used the vintage Christmas photopolymer set. You can find it on page 63 in the July to December mini catalogue for 2022. The bottle is the same profile as the one in the Bottled Happiness bundle, which you can find in the annual catalogue on page 16. This one has a punch that goes with it, and it will also fit the bottle on this. The inks I'm using for this card are Early Espresso, Shaded Spruce, Poppy Parade and Coastal Cabana. I'm also using the die from the mini pocket envelope die set to cut out this sentiment here. So this is the stamp set, and the foliage and section here comes as a single stamp. So it comes like a single stamp, so you stamp that first and then you fit the flowers round the centre here, like so. On these bits here I made my own designer series paper, so it's just this stamp here. Now let's run through the cardstock. You'll need a 8" by 5.5" piece of cardstock in Coastal Cabana. Bring in the scoreboard and butt it up with the long side at the top. Then you're going to score with the thinner end of the stylus at 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches and 7 inches. In metric, the cardstock will be 20.5 by 14 centimetres, and on the long side you score at 2.5, 5 centimetres, 7.5 centimetres, 13 centimetres, 15.5 centimetres and at 18 centimetres. Bring in the trimmer and you want to cut at every 1/2 inch between the first score line at 1 inch down to the third score line at 3 inches. Line it up at 1/2 inch. You can see it's at 3 inches. So put your blade, press it down and cut a little bit. Then at the top align it at 1 inch and press the blade down. I've cut between those two lines. By pressing your blade down at the 1 inch score line and a 3 inch score line and just cutting a little bit in, it means that you won't shoot past that score line. So you do that for every 1/2 inch. Okay? So press that down, lift the blade up, find the 1 inch score line, press the blade down, and then cut between those two score lines. And you keep going until you reach the end. So I'll do that off camera because it's going to take quite a while. There's another way of doing this, and that's to fold your 2 inch score line and make a mark at every 1/2 inch and then use the scissors and cut it up that way. So you cut this up to this score line here. or you can fold it like that, and then just cut it up to that score line every 1/2 inch. But I found that if I did that, it didn't cut through the bottom layer, so it was just easier to do it this way. So to do the other side, you do the same. Push your blade down at the 3-inch mark, lift it up, push the blade down at the 1-inch mark so you don't shoot past. So that's your first one done. Then line it up at 1 inch and do the same. Then as you go along, the third alternative is to cut at every 1/2 inch. So you look at that sign there, okay? So I've cut up to 3 inches now on both sides. So the next one is 3.5. So you line it up at 3.5, and then you cut between the 7-inch and the 5-inch. Lift the arm up and then cut from 3 inches to 1 inch. And then you repeat every 1/2 inch. So next you want to line the left edge at the next 1/2 inch, which is 4 inches. Then I'm cutting from 7 up to 5. And put my finger there so I don't shoot past it. Lift the blade up and then cut from 3 inches to 1 inch. And then you're done. So for video purposes, I've already done that. Cut every 1/2 inch on these 2 panels. In metric, you will be cutting every 1 centimetre, alright? The third score line is a mountain fold, and this one is a valley fold, the one next to it. And the last one is a mountain fold. So this one is a mountain fold. The next one is a valley fold. And the outer one is a mountain fold. So it should look like that. I'm going to flatten this out because we need to do our stamping now. Okay. So the rest of the cardstock for the matte layer in the front of the center panel, this is Poppy Parade, and it measures 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. In metric, that's 4.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. Now I'm going to glue that to the center panel. And there are 2 Poppy Parade ones for the 2 side panels, and this measures 7/8 by 5 3/8. And in metric, that's 2 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. So we'll glue those down as well. Then we need 2 basic white pieces. They're both cut at 1 3/4 inches by 5 1/4. In metric, that will be 4.5 by 13.5. And we want one for the front and one for the back. Now on a scrap piece of basic white, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Then I'll use the mini pocket envelope die to cut out the greeting. So I'll be back. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need to know how far down rather, I stamp my vase. So I should put dimensionals on there, but I won't stick it on yet. I'll just draw a pencil mark around the greeting. I'll ink up the tall bottle, and I don't want it too strong, so I'm going to stamp that in the middle. Now I've mounted my stamp so that it mirrors the image on here, because that makes it easier for me to stamp the flowers. So bring in my Poppy Parade, and you see that there are holes in the stamp, so I'm going to marry up the holes to get the position for the centre of the flowers more or less right. Now this time I want my flower to be at the bottom here, to go over the bottle. So let's hope I get this right. So that's the biggest flower centre, so I have to orient it to go like so. Now I'm going to swap stamps and stamp the foliage, which will fit in between the flowers here. Then fussy cut the extra flower that you stamped so that you can put that on top of the one stamped on the main card. Put a dimensional on the back and then marry it up with this one like so, and glue it onto your card. Rub the pencil mark off, and then you can attach your sentiment. Take off the backing tape. And now we want to do the two sides. So you need to cut 2 pieces of basic white, and both these measure 3¼ inches by 5¼ in metric. That's 1.5 by 13 centimeters. Ink the leaf part up in shaded spruce and the berries in Poppy Parade. So you just touch the berries on the corner of the ink pad so you don't touch it, and carry on stamping. Adhere this to the side panels, and then lastly stamp this, pin it off. I'm going to fussy cut round this letter. So I need to do the back of the card, somewhere for you to sign. So I'm just going to put holly there. So I'm going to glue this on the inside. So now we want to pop it up, so you can use a pencil or a marker pen just to weave in and out, like so, every alternate one, and the one at the top, like so, and you do the same at the bottom here. And there you have your double tower card. So there's your double tower, and that's the back. Whoops. And there's your front. So I hope you've enjoyed episode 4 in my 12-week countdown to Christmas series. All the supplies are below this video in the Show More section. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. If you'd like to read more and have a full list of the measurements, they'll be over on my blog, and I'll put a link in the Show More section as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.